Yes, it worked.
That made me so happy. It made me so happy.
Oh my word, that was a rousing success. Absolutely rousing success.
Absolutely.
Hello, everybody. It's Monday night. It's the Plastic Crack Podcast, Season 4, Episode 43, and we're down 2 men. As you can see, it's just Martin, our seventh son, and myself on
Hello.
PCP duty tonight. I think Tim's already impressed with what's going on tonight.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I heard that Tim liked Napoleon, so I don't know. I don't know. No. I know Miller didn't. I'm still hearing about it.
Yes. Yeah, some quite industrial language from Miller on his on his.
I know. I thought that was pretty good. It's still going strong. I was checking the Facebook stats, and that's had one of the most responded to. Other than Haley's post of my Candace Spray page, the Pirate's
so
dish,
funny.
Which,
that was really so funny.
I know. I copped so much crap for that as well. I just needed to bring it up to temperature. That was all. But it was just there. So she'd got the dish out. I didn't know why she got it out, but it was conveniently there to put some warm water in. So
needs must when
exactly
aerosol cans need to be heated up. Right, back to the schedule. So as I said earlier, Season 4, Episode 43. And tonight we're going to be doing our own version, or what we'd like our own version of the awesome 1978 TV series Battleground to look like. I'm looking forward to this because I watched them over and over again on YouTube. It's just there's just such a class to them, such a class. Okay, we should probably explain where everyone is and where everyone isn't.
I don't even know where he is.
I think Dom's in Newcastle.
Let's just say, well, that doesn't sound very exciting. Dom is at sea.
Dom went to see Ken in Southampton, got press ganged, and now he's somewhere in the Caribbean.
Yeah, serving aboard as first mate.
And Ken, where is Ken? Do we know where
Ken has
is?
Ken has a family thing, the same as last week or the week before. But yeah, he's got a thing that he can't get out of. So they send their apologies, but obviously you're just left with us. Well, what else could you want?
What exactly? End of year treat is what it is. It's an end of year treat.
It is. We've only got 3, this one and 2 more, haven't we? That's it.
I know. That's frightening that it's come to like the amount of episodes we've done this year, and it's just coming to the end of the year, and it's terrifying. Big thank you to everybody that's watching on the catch up. We always appreciate that. Don't forget, I'm going to go through the spiel. Don't forget to like the stream, and if you want to subscribe to our channels, they're in the description below. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff.
All that stuff. You shill.
I know. I do feel like a shill when I'm doing stuff like that. I just feel like saying, if you want to watch it, if you want to like it, just do it. Just do it. Don't have to. If you want to, knock yourself out. As always, we are sponsored by the awesome folks over at Boards and Swords Hobby in Derby. When you're checking out through the web store, if you use the code PCP5, this will get you an additional 5% off your already very nicely discounted order with Ian. As always, if you need anything in the shop or you need something tracking down, get in contact with Ian, and I'm pretty sure he'll be able to help you out. He's a very, very helpful dude. And yeah, he'll just sort you out, no problems whatsoever. Right, fantastic. Let's have a look.
Who have we got here?
I was going to say, let's have a look. We got oh, Martin, I've got the wrong one. I'm Dom.
No, yeah, that's because it's at the very, very bottom. Well done. We found Dom. It's at the very bottom. Hang on, I'll sort it out. There you go. Yes, there you go.
Oh,
now you see.
Brilliant. I feel myself again.
Nothing but pure professionalism. Yeah.
Exactly what you come for. Right, let's see who's in. So Leslie is joining us. Here's one for you, Martin. Leslie, it's a shame you can't get a famous actor to do your introductions.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't we all like that?
I'd like to. Who I'd like to introduce all my videos. Bob Goldthwaite.
Who? Oh.
That would be so funny. And it would work as well. Duke Wellington, good day from Oz. Just finished a night shift rebasing some old S unit figures of value of fortitude. East North, ham and jam. Remember in 1978 makes a fella feel old. Tell me about it. I was born in 1978, so and
I wasn't. I wasn't born for over 6 years.
Oh, just no.
I know. Well, look at Ken. He wasn't born until the 90s. So
I know. That's just. I can't even get my head right. I've been to parties that lasted longer than that. Nick Games, absolutely. The 256 by 144 pixels resolution for the real 1978 Battleground experience. And you need wingback chairs and a nice drinks cabinet as well. Ian Wright, watching Battleground on Anglia TV in the summer of 1978. He missed one episode because we were away on holiday and it was never repeated. I don't even know how long it was on for. I can't believe it's like it should be like mandatory to repeat that thing on telly. It should be prime time viewing.
Absolutely. Well, if it isn't after tonight, it will.
Oh, it should be. It should be. We channel my inner Edward Woodward. Do you know what? I was actually looking for my cravat. I wanted to wear my cravat tonight, but I can't find it, which is a shame. I think I lost it after CrackCon. I'm not quite sure it's gone.
I forgot you wore that to CrackCon.
I didn't actually get to wear it. I brought it with me, but I didn't actually wear it. I've only ever worn it once, and that was, I think it was the show after I appeared on the Hobby Support Group podcast, because Andy loves his hobby cravat.
He does like a cravat. He's a very distinguished fellow, though.
Oh, absolutely, yes. John Sowerby is here. Laser Pirate Painting. Benjamin Christensen. Carl Burks, Big City. Hello, Don. I read this earlier, Don. So he wasn't familiar at all with Battleground, so he's just watched the episode on Gettysburg. Nothing that Edward Woodward said after there was a battle at Gettysburg was accurate.
Yeah, but Edward Woodward's in the Wicker Man, so everyone should just listen
exactly. So swings and roundabouts. Rogue Trooper is here. Rich M. Rev Reg, good evening, everyone. Glendoa, Lionheart, Andrew JF, John Carter. I've been a few weeks since you made it to a live one. Good to see you again, John. Hope you're doing well, mate. David Baker, Craig Williams, 9999999, pardon. Red Steph, Nigel Jones, Storm Steel Wargame. Hello, Alex. Hope you're well, mate. Cryokinesis. Cryokinesis. Oh, we're close.
Cryokinesis. Is it cryokinesis?
Cryokinesis. Or I don't know.
Do we get like an A for effort and then like a D for attainment on that?
I gave it a good go. I think I got the first part slightly wrong. Paul is in a sodden moistness that is Mercia. Lovely stuff.
Such a great word.
It just brings up such mental images of where Paul is tonight. Mortzerk, hello Jonas, hope you're doing well, mate.
How you do?
Robin's here. Friends of General Haig. He's painting a sedan chair.
Of course he is.
Yeah, because I painted 4 over the weekend, and I've got another 6 planned for the rest of this week. Everyone paints it.
I paint my sedan on a Monday evening.
Well, it just gives you a certain ambience at the start of the week, doesn't it? Dutch Army Painter, hello, first time in chat in a long time. He's painting Wars of the Roses Bowman.
Excellent.
Good to see you again. Pretty sure Martin will agree with your choice of hobby endeavour tonight.
I do, although I have something to show off. Well, a little tease of something.
So, prepare yourself, folks. Mobile Hostel, Camp the 7 from a soggy Ontario. We've got soggy and we've got moist. I'm sensing
sodden. We've had soggy and sodden.
God,
I feel like sodden is worse than soggy.
Yeah, it's the onomatopoeia about it. It's just a bit gross. Robin Rose Hopton, hope you're well. Yorkshire Lagoon, hello Tim, Gary Wallace, all the sixes. Even everyone, not often I get to see a show live. Well, I'm glad you made it. We are all glad you made it.
Yeah.
John City, evening off. Frank's Miniatures, good evening from the Netherlands. Matt Wright is here. Mark Riding, Alan Roberts, Sean Bratt, Daniel Moreno, David Thu. Hope you're good, well, David. I think we're getting to where we put. See, look, we have people that approve. That is an intro. Oh yes, it's an intro.
It was. It was. I mean, obviously, it'll only ever see the light of day when the other two aren't around. We say other two when Dom isn't around.
No, it's gonna be like the intro equivalent of Halley's Comet. It only comes round like when there's a certain, the planets have aligned. It's just me and Martin on. That's when we break out the funky intros.
What happened as soon as we found out they weren't on, the private messaging started going, have we got an intro? Because Dom deleted the last one, didn't he? Dom, the one that I did, where I didn't even have the source file, so I had to record it off my phone to do it. So back in the day.
Red Sven 76. Hello, Red Sven. Was that a speed metal intro? I don't know. I very, 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 very quickly cobbled it together using a template off Filmora, so I've got no idea.
If you did it quickly, then yes, it was speed metal.
So yes, it was a speed metal intro. Theoretically, it was. There was almost a Led Zeppelin intro to Top of the Pops. Mini Agnostic. Picker City, what the hell? I left to refill my tequila glass and I came back to this. Yes. Kevin Sturdy's here. Hi all. We all just a few. Hi Martin and Steve.
Hello.
We've already cleared that Dom has been press ganged and is currently on a ship in the Caribbean somewhere.
We few, we happy few.
Yes.
We best peace. Yeah. Sorry, I had to.
David Robertson, Joseph Kanovitz, Gunny Highway from Northern Lower Michigan. You guys are like the crazy uncles I never had. That's awesome.
Awesome. I've never been described as an uncle because I'm an only child, so I've never been an uncle.
I'm an uncle and a great uncle. Exactly, that makes me feel really old. Dom and Ken lost. I love playing Strange Automobile.
Oh, what a film! What a film! I would love. Could you imagine those two in an escape room? Actually, to be fair, quite fun. All four of us in an escape room.
Oh my god!
Try. It might even be worth it. Maybe we should have like a Christmas party or a party next year. We'll go in the four of us can go in an escape room.
Haven't you got to have like impeccable logical thought to get out one of those things, though?
Absolutely, we're never getting out.
So I say they'll find us in 4.5 years' time. It's just skeletons. Although Ken would probably end up somehow bribing his way out.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, yeah. Just he'll ask for his money back. I was talking about Ken today with my mate from work. I can't even remember how it came up. We were talking about air conditioning units. That was it. And that suddenly just led on to him getting his money back at the travel lodge. And then I went on to describe the full litany of things that he's done. It lasted half an hour. It got us from Ipswich back to Bury St Edmunds.
That's what you asked. Does he now want to meet Ken, or is he?
No, he doesn't. No, he said that he would not like to. He's from Beverley, so posh Yorkshire.
Right.
So, but he still said that he doesn't want to meet him.
Oh well, I'm sure we can arrange it one day. So Marky Sparky's here. Mark Lionheart, Trouser Anich is here, and Roy B. I'm getting to the bottom. Louis Baby, hello mate. Hope you're doing well. Shakers and Spurs up, James. How's it going, mate? Actually, we were talking about sort of Yorkshire last night. We watched this completely off topic. We watched a video of about a bloke doing a review of fish and chips in Harrods, and it was it was 37 quid. And all I could imagine was James and Ken going, "How much?"
37 quid.
Yeah, you got 9 chips. Completed Chief is here. Basement 99. I was disgusted by Nay and Napoleon if I bought a perimeter on there that I'm painted to purify my soul. Steve, again, another cracking video, mate. Just complete and utter total insanity.
God, yeah.
You, sir, are an absolute legend. You really are. Nathan McGowan's here. Nothing wrong being born in the 90s. I was born in the 90s. I think we're at the bottom. It's going a bit mad. Osmozy. I think everyone. Brendan and Libby. Hello from New Zealand. Hello. I think. Yeah. How much? It was Haddock. It was Haddock. Right, we're at the bottom. We've had Ken's list of things that he's got refunds on, and we've talked about Harrods fish and chips. So let's get back into a bit of normality. So What have you been up to, Martin? Well, as far as we can get as normal on a Monday night.
Yes. What have I been up to? Oh, hang on. I'm just sticking my fingers together. 2 seconds. So I'm currently sticking together lots of little Japanese walls that I picked up from Blots when I was at Warfare, because there may or may not be a test of honor battle happening shortly, and I figured some small walls would be good. And then I've got to just finish off this monstrosity. But I really like the Blots kits, because they're not pre-painted, but they advise you on, so you can like paint them on the sprue. They say do these bits red, these bits brown.
All right.
And then just assemble them, this way, and everything comes together. So all these were sprayed white on the sprue, if you like, on the frame, and then you just pop them out and pop them together. Are they 6mm? No, sir. No, they are not. I'm going to ignore your cheekiness. So what have I been up to? I have been working, unsurprisingly, on the Gallic Wars.
Really?
Following last week. So where are we? Okay, so I completed another warband of Celts. Well, it does pain me calling them that, of Gallic warriors. So there we go. There's another group of those, which I sort of knocked out at a rather leisurely pace during the week.
Was it the same speed method?
Yeah. The only thing I did differently was I did a little bit more on the base. I decided I wasn't totally happy with the bases from the first one. So instead of adding pigments, I added some more clumps. I basically did a little bit of dry brushing and then added some static grass to fill in on the base, which you probably can't actually see in the photo because of the long grass. But that it probably took about the same amount of time, but I was happy, or added just a tiny little bit longer. But yeah, it took about 3 hours. I actually painted them all in 2 evenings while Haley was watching I'm Celebrity, so 2 hours. Did all the painting, and then the shields and with the transfers and the and then the basing just took an hour last night to do, because I had a bit of a gap in the middle. I had to chuck a casualty on because I felt bad for putting a casualty on. I mean, but this is the thing. They serve a purpose. I think, considering what I'm trying to do with them, and just knock them out. I've painted 40 ghouls in, if you take the time, in 6 hours. I think that's fairly good going. For what I'm trying to do with it is good. And so my plan eventually will be to add in some more sort of characterful people, but I'm just trying to get the contents of this box done. So I've done half the ghouls now. Half the ghouls in that box are done. I'm just working on some metal javelin guys from Warlord as well, which are, I was only painting these just before we started this stream, but these are, I don't know, probably a good 25% done already. So I'll get them through them. I haven't got any shield transfers to muck around with these either, because the fools didn't bring shields with them. That's but I had to have a little sort of break in the middle of the week, because I had some other stuff going on as ragged. Well, let's just put it this way: I thought, it might be a little bit of a slowdown in orders before Christmas, because people in the States no. So I've been a bit busy there. But first here on the PCP, where else would I do it? You can see, I'll just give you a little. I'm going to do that really annoying thing that GW do, and I've taken a picture and then cropped a tiny part of the model. Because if it's good for them, it's good for me. So here you go. Here's a little sneak peek of what's coming up.
Ooh.
Next, armor. Lots of armor.
And I just like to add,
well, it's that I went sort of on my holiday. I went to Derbyshire in the summer. And I went around making my family look at effigies of people who died in the Wars of the Roses. I've done one. I'm really excited to show him off. I've just got to get the masters sort of printed up and painted up, and I'll show him off properly. But the armor is as close a copy of one of the types of armor on those effigies as you can get from a few sources, from a contemporary sketch, which was a little bit sketchy. And yes, you're funny too. Absolutely. And also I've got some Tobias Capwell's work, and he was the chap at the Wallace collection. He's not there anymore, and he's done like these huge volumes on armor, and he's studied them as well. And then also Graham Turner has obviously done some bits. So there'll be something coming. So yeah, but there'll be a full, really boring explanation of all the sources used to inspire it when I release it. So yeah, so that took up the center of the week. So yeah, it's been. I think I've done enough. I mean, I'm hoping by next week to have another. I'll have these javelin guys finished, maybe another unit of Romans, and I've got a Scorpio ready to paint up. So yeah, it's been pretty busy. So what about you? What have you been up to? I've seen what you've been up to.
I had a weird week. Yes, I have. I've got no willpower whatsoever. But this is a nostalgia thing. What have I been painting? So it's one of those weird weeks. No, you're working a lot of things, but you don't actually finish anything. So the only things I actually finished were these. And there's some cannon from my epic pike and shot. And they took about 2 hours. Nice. 2 hours.
They're cool. Oh, they are awesome.
Because I think it was Andy from Friends of General Haig basically said with the 30 Years War, especially with the Imperial side, there was no real set uniform. Everyone just sort of wore what they want. And I've been going through a couple of reference books as well. And especially for sort of artillery and cannon crew, there wasn't any uniform. It was just everyone just brought what they wanted. So I just picked out 4 paints, did a sort of a different, you're getting blue pants, you're getting a blue jacket, and you're getting, I just did that. Washed it and then just did some highlights. And yeah, just over 2 hours to do both of them. I was quite surprised by them. But I've been working on other things as well. So I've started more work on my 20mm German stuff to go my 20mm British stuff.
Very cool.
What else have I've been working on this as well, which is a plastic soldier company Firefly. It made me swear because
is that 28mm?
No, it's 20mm.
Wow. Oh,
sorry, 1/72.
It confused me. Also, I couldn't work out what was going on.
I don't know whether I was distracted or whatever, but the Firefly's got a big, massive counterweight on the back because of the size of the gun. And the Plastic Soldier Company box comes with two types of Sherman.
Right.
And the instructions tell you which bits you need for which one. And I glued the wrong part on as part of the.
Oh no!
But I didn't notice until I was priming it the next day, and I was like, "Oh, a second, that's clearly wrong." And then, so what I was trying to do, because I used super glue on it, and it was like it wasn't going anywhere. So I had to lever it off with a file. And when did that? The bloody thing jumped up and whacked me right in the eye. So I swore for like 10 minutes. Not only did I noused up the vehicle, but I also maimed myself in the process as well. So that's also being done. I've got some more pike and shot stuff being prepped. It's going to be a busy week. But yes, I have been. It arrived.
Oh, hey. Well, look what I did actually. Hang on a second. If we're doing this, is this like the sort of?
Yes. Hey!
This was £5.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Even if it never gets anything, I've got a handy weight to keep all my MDF, flat. But
that's what books are for, big heavy books. But yeah, big thanks to Ian at Boars and Swords for very, very swift delivery on my Legions Imperialis. I spent yesterday boring my better half watching videos about Legions Imperialis and how to paint them, because it's so looking forward. What I like about it is they've kept the main rules as they were 30 years ago. Orders are the same. They've added some unit abilities and traits and weapons and things. I think it adds to the game, though. It gives it a bit more of a new dimension. Tanks on bases. Boo. No, that's just a painting base. I need to put it onto a proper base after it's been done. Then
that's
I'll
your
base.
painting. That's your painting. I have painting bases. I'm glad that's not just me.
It's not.
I have painting sticks. I have painting bases. I have painting corks. I have no idea what this was, but I found it in the road and I took it. So I was like, it kind of looks like a mini like road code. I have no idea what it is, but I just took it because I liked it.
See, useful tools. You don't even know what that is, and it's useful.
I know, and it's still better than what Ken said.
We won't go there. That's verboten from now on. I use these Vallejo mud things. I have got so many empty ones of these that I just use them as just blue tack figures on top of them. I've just got them lying. I've gone through so much Vallejo mud in the past year. It's Tim, it's not, and don't tell him that I'm not putting that comment on my channel.
There's a lot of blue tack on the end of it now, so I wouldn't. That would
lovely,
be
lovely stuff. Trying to explain that one to a GP. Yeah, and that's how I got blue tack on it. Yes, so I've got Legions Imperialis, but I also gave in as well, and I picked up this, which is my first Rock Minis Fantasy Starter Army. I know, like I say, Dan, and there's one coming up later in the viewers' pictures. These, the Rock Minis, I said to Martin before, you don't appreciate how detailed these are until they're in front of you, and they're absolutely insane how much detail are on these. It's just brilliant. So I'm going to be painting 10mm and 9mm stuff over the next couple of weeks, which is going to be really very interesting. But yeah, lots of stuff done, but nothing really finished. What Steve said, what I like with Legions Imperialis is there's now loads of videos saying how you can paint. Saying how can you paint something so small? They are really small. I was shocked at just how small they are. So they're about, I think someone said they're between 8 and 9mm. But again, the detail on them is phenomenal. It's going to be one of those ones where you just paint what you want.
Why don't you, because we were talking about this before the stream started, why don't you just address the comments that people were making about the sort of the chunky, you know, the I don't know how to describe it.
It's like
people were talking about this floor in the
So some of them, by the way, at the cast, so you got a dude holding the bolter, and there's a gap between his bolter and his breastplate, and there can't be anything. There's got to be something there. So it's like a wedge of plastic. Now, if you zoom in using, like you said, a micron microscope, you're gonna see them. But from 3 feet away and looking head up, you're not going to really see them. I mean, I did watch a video. Oh, I can't remember the dude's name. I think it was it Richard Gray? It might be Richard Gray. And he was fixing them with a really, really sharp blade and some Tamiya extra thin glue. And he did a fantastic job on them.
When you say fixing, what was he doing? Like filling the gap?
No, removing the plastic. So it's like the arm is there, but you've got to sort of carve it yourself. So on one of them, there's like a triangle wedge of plastic. And all he did was he got a blade and he sort of just carved the arm out. So it's there. And some of this, I think there's a couple where the legs might need slightly trimming.
Right.
But having seen them, I've got no problem with them. I mean, I might try and fix a couple of them just to see if I can do it. Don's got a point. So they exactly that though the ECW cavalry, they're quite flat down and lacking in detail down the front. On the sides they're brilliant, but the front is quite bland.
Yeah. But at that scale, are you really going to notice? And can you not just fill it in with like a dark color? I mean, so you always get that on like horses, especially on like the reins of horses. Underneath, there's only a couple of people I know who actually make reins of. You know, you've always got that filler like round it. So I always just paint it really dark, or like so it's shadowed, so you don't notice it.
I think it's just it's part of the manufacturing process. But with these miniatures, it's 5 on a base. You get a good mixture of Marines and veterans and sergeants and things. But they're so small. You could literally just do the color of the armor, and you would it'd just be his arm. You wouldn't notice. You really wouldn't. And to be fair, when I saw them, people were complaining. I was like, my God, have I wasted my money here? Because they zoomed in to like the nth degree, so you could see it. But they're really tiny figures. I mean, the praetors and the officers absolutely chock full of detail. Really, really good. Really looking forward to them, to painting them. The dreadnoughts, the tanks. Oh my word, the tanks. Actually, yeah, Steve, I watched the Cult of Paint videos yesterday. All of them.
Oh, I like Cult of Paint. They're good videos.
Yeah, he was doing some brilliant work on the tanks. It was just really good. I've got loads of ideas, and now it's just choosing a legion. But I'm gonna be going for a traitor legion, I think, because I want my
well, you
my
did
solo
Death Guard before, didn't you?
Yes, I'm thinking Death Guard or Sons of Horus, because I want my solo auxiliary to be loyalist. And I do like the Death Guard. I like the uniform.
Well, I suppose those two don't have as many specialist demony units. I know the Death Guard get plaguey things, but they're basically just big fat Space Marines, really, aren't they?
Yes. I mean, when this is taking place, I think it's largely before anyone's been mutated. So
they'll blatantly bring out there'll be third party people, unless you'll go into a shop and you want to play there, there'll be people producing things online.
There will be, yeah.
And I'll just say it, 3D printing it. Cheers.
People will be doing it, but yeah, I'm massively looking forward to getting this painted up on the table. Really, really am. James, you're a sadist, mate. I want you to do 6mm black and white hazard stripes on Iron Hands. No.
Fighting words.
Oh no!
This is how easy it is painting this, Steve. Look, so it's on the frame. Just gonna get a sponge and just there you go.
More useful things. Sponge.
Notice that this is from a blister and not from a sanitary product.
Good stuff. There we go. Because that's the sensible option. Only crazy mad fools use things like that for hobbying with. But Ken.
This is why we won't put him in charge of the goodie bags next year. God knows what it's going to end up.
Oh my God! Yeah, a lawsuit probably. Right. On to tonight's subject. Right, for those, we're going to be talking about our own recreation of the awesome 1978 Battleground. Now, for people who aren't familiar with this, I've found a couple of pictures just so you can familiarize yourself with it. Basically, what it was, in a nutshell, it was a program from 1978. I think it ran for one series and was presented by Edward Woodward. And each episode focused on a particular war and a particular battle.
If any of you don't know who Edward Woodward is, first of all, shame on you. Secondly,
shame on you.
First of all, for the more recent additions to the gene pool, he's in Hot Fuzz, and he's the guy who watches all of the CCTV cameras. But for the horror people like it, he is the police officer in The Wicker Man, which is still seem to be one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my life, just purely because Christopher Lee dancing. Yep.
Yeah, Summer Isle. Completely mad film. It still terrifies me, that bloke with the horse. You know what? I don't like hobby horses. It terrifies me.
What?
Yeah, I don't like hobby horses. They scare the absolute crap out of me.
Hobby horses?
Yeah, it's a horse's head on a stick. Why would you give that to a child?
Tessa has a hobby horse.
Oh God, no. Scares to just. I've just got no concept for it. I just do not. Ugh.
Oh yeah, and of course he is the original Equalizer.
Yes, the Equalizer as well. Yes.
Yeah, that's.
So this is
killing me. Sorry, everyone's quoting The Wicker Man. Alex, absolutely killing me won't bring back your apples. Absolutely amazing.
Oh dearie me. So as I was saying, each episode was a certain war battle. I think they used different rules as well. The tables were always fantastic, but it just looked so awesome. So when it was on, it sort of looked like this. Apologies for the bad quality. This is probably taken off the telly.
I thought you were talking about the battlefield then.
No. So, and it was like Edward Woodward would give like a background to the conflict, to the war, to the battle. Then they'd be sort of jumping in as these guys were playing the game. Lots of it was very, very British, very British.
Take from that what you will.
It was, and it was. I think off the top of my head, there was Waterloo. Was it Edge Hill? There was an Ancients one, Gettysburg, Waterloo, another one. There was a Second World War one. I think there's 3 full episodes on YouTube, so go and check them out. There we have the man himself, Edward Woodward. With that, that's when you look at that chair. I want one of those for CrackCon. We need 4 of those. Yes,
we need 3 in a beanbag.
Covered in plastic.
Are you not saying the beanbag could be for Dom?
Oh, it could be. It could be
covered in plastic. What's he gonna do?
I don't know. So we have another one, and now we have the very, very famous Peter Gilder, massive in the wargaming world. And I watch this on YouTube quite a lot because it's I find it inspiring. I don't know what it is. It's just it's weird seeing my hobby on the telly. I think that's one of the strangest things, is seeing my hobby actually being presented on the telly like a sporting event. But it's interesting. I think they're all 15mm games, I believe, if I remember correctly. 15 or 18 possibly. And yeah, it just fascinated me. So last week I had an idea, and I thought, if we were to sort of have free reign and design our own episode, what would we do? What would we choose? How would it look? Who would present it? It'd just be a bit of fun. But yeah, I would absolutely recommend everyone, if you've not checked it out, have a look at it on YouTube. It's just awesome. So I earlier today I sent Martin a list of different sections.
Which I attempted to discuss with, again, the same co-worker. Well, he's my business partner, and we didn't. And I got shot. Even though he likes wargaming, it doesn't like it that much. So that didn't go very far.
Oh.
But I looked at it, and then before the issues happened with the house, 10 of 10, I was yes. So no, we should go for it.
Okay, so let's start with the big one. So, what war or conflict or period have you gone for?
I have. I wonder. Well,
I wonder as well.
I went for the Wars of the Roses. Funnily enough, I didn't see it because like the last time we picked a conflict, I went for something like that I didn't really know that much about, and I thought no, this time I'd want that because people get so animated about it because they take it so personally off the table. I thought it could get really, really personal, especially if you have someone from Yorkshire playing someone from Lancashire. So it could get really, really nasty. And what we want is entertainment, right? It's about entertainment. So, all right, that's what Ridley Scott said. It's entertainment. No, it's not. I still haven't. I'm confronted. I haven't watched it, so I can't possibly comment. But I would do the Wars of the Roses because I feel that it is something that's fairly well known, or people know of it and would want to learn a little bit more. I did think about the 100 Years' War, but I just think the War of the Roses is better.
Well,
what about you? What did you
guess what I went for?
I think. Well, part of me thinks that you would say like Normandy, or because if I just said World War II, that's a very vast.
I have chosen World War II for the setting, but then there's going to be a specific battle or campaign that I'm going to go for.
Bastogne?
No.
Monte Cassino?
No.
Tobruk?
No. Completely wrong part of the world.
Stalingrad?
No. I'm doing
it's called the World War. I'm trying to get
it. You're just slowly moving more to
Iwo Jima, the Pacific.
Close, yes, Pacific. I'm going for Peleliu.
Right.
Yeah.
How many islands are there?
Well, there's loads, but I'm going for the main Peleliu assault. So in the chat, is anyone surprised that, bearing in mind who's on the podcast tonight, that we've chosen Wars of the Roses and World War II?
I'll do what I think Dom would say, and he'd blatantly go the Peninsula or the 100 Days.
Yes,
and then I've probably quoted him wrong, and we'll hear about this later. Ken will go on about. Ken would do that. Actually, I can remember that battle he was talking about that he only found out about at CrackCon. I can't remember what it was now.
The SAS one in Oman, I think it was. Oh God.
Yeah. Or he would say something with proper Romans, and then when we asked him to elaborate, he wouldn't be able to. I just remembered he called me earlier and I hung up on him. I forgot to bring it back. Just remembered. Sorry, dude. I know he's not watching, so
I'm just trying to find. David is stunned and shocked at those choices. I thought you might be, David. I thought people would be passing out through pure shock and surprise that we've chosen World War II and Wars of the Roses.
Yeah, but if we choose something that we're not known for, then people go, I would have thought you'd have done this.
Yeah,
that's why we're here.
No. Okay, so on to the next one. So we've established. Imagine the cameras come on and you've got the tables in the background and you've got either World War II, lots of jungle, or Wars of the Roses. Next choice is rules. What rule set are you going for?
You go first.
Well, bearing in mind, I chose bolt action. That should come as no surprise. Again, no surprise, because it's a game that I know. It's a game that I know inside out. I'd like to think I know it inside out. I enjoy it. It's entertaining. I think it would transfer well onto a TV program where you're trying to keep people sort of entertained by sort of the core mechanics of the game. Pulling things out of dice bags and little orders and stuff like that. So yeah, bolt action. If I was more versed with Chain of Command, I would probably choose Chain of Command. But I'm going to stick. If I'm like executive producer on this TV show, I'd like to think I know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go with bolt action.
So I struggled with rule set. I almost felt like there needed to be just one created for it. I mean, obviously, I could say Hail Caesar with the adaptation that I did, but I kind of feel like everyone's expecting me to say that, and you've just done a Warlord one, so it's like, oh yeah, we just do Warlord. So there, it is hard. I was kind of feeling to the strongest a little bit, because it would do away with the measuring mechanic, and because you've got like the squares on the battlefield, it's a visual reference for people. Although with the wonders of today, I'm not doing bill hooks. And today with I do like it. I'll talk about that another time. But it I feel like that you get a really, really big battle. To the strongest, has got a very, very straightforward system of resolution. It uses cards, and I think that could be people can play along a bit better. So yeah, I would say to the strongest. No. No. I can't even bring I can't even think what to say. Just no. I
just no.
No, I say it again. I don't like Lion Rampant. I don't like Dragon Rampant, but I do like Xenos Rampant, which is weird. But Xenos Rampant is very different to the other.
It is very different.
The other two. Yeah.
No, good shout for David here about old group. Yeah, what I'm imagining is I'm not playing the entire campaign. I've actually got a method behind my madness planned. But yeah, old group would be a good shout. I think that'd work really well.
But the thing is, as well, is what you're trying to do, because your one is more. It's a smaller action. A War of the Roses battle is a big battle, and if you've got like a, what are we saying for length of time, or is I can't remember. Is that a later question?
Well, that's later on. That's later on in
format.
So
presumably, because most TV shows are an hour.
Yeah,
it's got to be something where you can get a decent resolution, but you still want to see like a big battle for something like the Wars of the Roses. So something like, say, like Bill Hooks or Lion Rampant or Saga or whatever is very, very small scale. So that was my thinking, is that To the Strongest emulates a big battle quite quickly, and people can like join in. Yes, Alan. No, I would. You'd have got my. Yes, Alan. I know. Look, it's a cross. I have to bet. I think I would play it and enjoy it if someone else was doing it. When I played it, I didn't enjoy it. But I think if someone who loves the rules and knows the rules was playing with me, rather than me just trying to like teach myself, which I just didn't. I didn't have fun. There we go. I said it. I'm sorry. I feel like I've been outed now or something. Although
no, I mean, just to expand on mine. So I'd probably be using this, which is a campaign book, the Mariana and Palau Islands. There is actually a Peleliu campaign in this. So that's just that's what it'd be just a bog standard campaign game. If you've ever played a bolt action one, I think it would work that way. So again, okay, on to the next one then would be the format. So we're talking then. So in the original Battleground, it was only on for half an hour, so you couldn't see the entire game. They used to just do snapshots of, and they generally be rolling dice, so they had those big measuring sticks or marking things off on clipboards. And then you'd have some really intense commentary over the top of it. It really added to it. And then there'd be cut scenes of the figures in like a cinematic thing. There'd be smoke and battle cries and orchestral music. It was really well presented, and the format really worked. So would you stick with that, or would you do anything different?
I'd have it an hour.
Okay,
I would do an hour, because you'd want a good preamble, and I guess if you're refighting a historical battle, you'd want a little bit of the history about it. I know we're going to come on to talk about the other show that was sort of and all it did was enrage me, and I remember when it came out, I think I was 15, and all it did was wind me up. And you can still watch those on YouTube as well, and watch the asinine decisions that were made. This is why people it proved this. All right, okay, we're talking about time. We're talking about Time Commanders.
Yes, right? We are.
There was a few seasons of this, and then they tried to jazz it up a bit, didn't they? Like halfway through, and they got rid of the old presenter, and then they made Richard Hammond. Hammond went back when he was relevant to come and present it. And I oh god, I just remember, because they got people from work. So it'd be like your team from work, and they just fell into their natural positions from work. So you'd have like the managers, and then you'd have the underlings. So you'd have the managers. I don't call people below managers underlings, by the way. I don't know why I said that. I couldn't think of it. The subordinates. In my company, you have different job titles. You would have the other two managers standing at the back looking at the overall battle map, and then you would have like the sub commanders who would be the subordinates, and half the time the subordinates just ignored what they were saying up there and just went and did their own thing, because they were doing better anyway. Al Murray did it as well. That is right, Luba. Yeah, he did as well. And oh my god, it was atrocious. And I'll never forget that there were two. There was the Battle of Watling Street. I remember the line. I think you can still see this on YouTube. So they were playing as the Romans, So Battle of Watling Street, Boudica's rebellion, if you believe she existed, which apparently is a big thing of contention at the minute. Don't. There's a book. And the Romans have kind of got themselves, they got their flanks anchored with woodland, but they got woodlands in their back. And what happens in history is they form up in typical Roman, fashion, and they actually kind of form into sort of wedges. So it's like almost like a serrated kind of front, and then they drive them through and kill all the Britons. These guys went, and I quote, "I've seen Spartacus, long, thin lines against the chariots. That's what we need." So they get all their Romans, and they just got stretched them out, because it used Total War, didn't it?
Total, yeah, it was Total
and then
War,
they marched, and not only that, they marched forwards to meet the chariots, and then the episode was over really, really quickly, and they had a really long discussion at the end where they always have the two people who basically said, "This is what you did wrong." So yeah, that was atrocious. And then there was the other one, which was one of the battles with Vercingetorix, and he went, the manager said, "I've seen battles. Whoever has the high ground wins." So they marched their whole army and deployed it on top of a hill, and the Romans just stood at the bottom and shot them. And he's like, "Well, do we come down for it?" The whole episode was the subordinates going, do we come down off the hill? No, as long as we have the hill. And at the end, there's like one guy. We've got the hill. Everyone's dead. So anyway, yes, that's yeah.
I'd like to think that Battleground was a bit, I don't know. They'd sort of knew more what cut above. Absolutely.
Cut above. Absolutely. No, so I think an hour. You want a bit of a preamble, and I would. I think you. I know, checking back in at key points, I think you would want like a summary, and then checking in at key points within those turns. So it's turn 2 and Robin's cannon is about to shoot. Oh no, he rolled all 1, and it blows up. And then you can have some lovely effects and something like that, as the cannon blows up across. So yeah, I think that would be. I think anything less than an hour would be.
I was thinking that. I thought half an hour would be too short, especially. I don't know. You just need an hour. I imagine back then, though. I mean, there was probably somebody probably wanted to watch Coronation Street or something. So they could only put it on for half an hour. I think it was on the BBC anyway, so I could be completely wrong. I'm not an expert on television. But yeah, I think for me it would be an hour as well. It would have to be at a minimum an hour. Maximum sort of hour and a half, hour. An hour and a half would be the maximum it could go to. But so you'd be of the opinion that it would be checking in on throughout the game or key moments in the game. So
I think you'd want to cover the whole game and do a summary of each turn. But when there's something within that turn, because all the footage would be there because they filmed it, you get a little bit of a zoomed in action on that, because otherwise, why would you need to have the system and show the system if it's promoting a system, then you'd want to do it, because no one would ever agree to their system being used if you didn't actually get to see it.
Exactly.
So that would be my thought anyway.
I'd definitely throw in like what they had on Battleground, where they used to have like actually the scenic things. We'd have like men screaming and some smoke and some. I think that'd work quite well as well. But yeah, so what we're up to. Let's have a bit of a recap. We're up to so far. Yeah, so Martin, you've got Wars of the Roses.
Yeah.
Using
to the strongest.
It's on for an hour.
Yep.
We're going for key moments and key decisions in the game.
Yep.
I've gone for World War II Bolt Action Peleliu. Again, hour and a half, if we have the budget. And again, same key moments. But again, it would be important that if you're demonstrating that specific game, when you have your key moments, you'd need to demonstrate a core mechanic of that game. So activation, combat, cannons exploding, etc. So yes, that'd be. I think that would work quite well. It's not too far from what Battleground was, because they used to do the same thing. They used to just They'd nip back to Edward Woodward, who'd give a bit of an overview of what was going on, historically what happened. Then they'd nip back to the table. There'd be, a key point in the game going on. Yes, I think that'd work quite well. Okay, then. So, Battleground, the setup they had. So they had a big, massive table. And lots of Battleground stuff to knocking around. Then you had Edward Woodward in a nice wingback chair and a globe and some books and a massive, great big map on of the actual battlefield. How would you want yours to look visually? How would it look in the studio?
Well, I guess the go-to thing, because I suppose how do I want it, or how do I think realistically something would sell? I guess is the
no. It's pure fantasy. How if budget wasn't a problem, demographics, audience retention.
It'd be in the grounds of the Tower of London, in the grounds or Midland Castle. The cliche, having it with castle walls and that would for what I would want to do. But then you could change it per episode. So obviously you can have mine in the grounds of the Tower of London, and in yours they could be in the jungles of the Pacific.
All expenses paid, trip to the Pacific,
or in a tent, the medical tent. I don't know. I feel like it would work. These things work more when the presenter is quite involved with the people who are playing these games.
Yeah. Have we lost Martin?
Taking the mick out of people that are playing, or they're doing this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's that works. A lot better, especially if you can have someone really, really sarcastic, which I do. I do have one in mind. So, what about you? Where would you have yours?
Do you know what I wrote down?
What?
The Tudor room.
Yeah, the Tudor. What, with the freaky woman behind the bar? In the mannequin.
The mannequin. No, that'll be removed for the good of my sanity. It would need to. I'll just put a blanket over it so I can't see it.
I'm going to ask them to put her on a hobby horse next year.
Oh God, no! We take off a straight jacket. No, I just liked. I liked the roaring fire, stone floor. They have
a high back chair.
They had high back chairs. It would just be brilliant. Just to if I ever come into a bunch of money and I've got money to buy my own Dom-esque type gaming place, I'm going to do that. It's going to be done out like that. I just think the ambience would be really good.
We could just ask Dom to buy the Tudor bar.
We could. Let's get him drunk.
I don't know if that's an option.
But that's what I'd do. So if you've not seen the pictures of the Tudor bar in the Facebook group, this is where before CrackCon 4, we spent the Friday in the Tudor bar in what was the name of the pub? Was it the Old Bell?
It was, yeah.
The Old Bell. And it was brilliant. It was a nice bar. It was stone floor, roaring fire, there was a big stag's head above the bar as well. It just had everything. The actual, and that's how I'd want my studio to look. I'd want it to look like that. A bit ye oldie, but a bit class at the same time.
A bit of class.
A bit of class. Yeah, and anyone caught drinking Carling at the bar will be promptly dispatched.
Is that how the game starts? Someone takes their drinks, and then you judge them on their drink.
Yeah, just don't drink Carling. But I just think it's. Especially these days, people have got a really short attention span when it comes to like TV programs. So imagine if you didn't have like a setting that stood out or was a bit unique, I imagine people would turn off. But that's just man. If I could have any setup for it, I think I'd give it a bit of class, a bit of ambience to it.
If it was something like Cruel Seas, you'd have to do it on HMS Victory, wouldn't you? You'd have to have it on there, yes, in the rain.
I think that would work. On a completely different tangent, I watched Master and Commander again at the weekend.
We were going to watch that, and then Hayley said no.
All right.
So we watched the film she wanted to watch, and then mine got shit canned. So we just sat there scrolling on our phones, and they say romance is dead.
I watched some utter. I mean, a bit of a film tangent. So Friday I watched Fight Club, and then Chopper.
Ooh, I haven't watched that for years.
And then Saturday was Master and Commander, and then I finally got round to watching my brother's favorite film, which is The Sting.
Oh God, yeah.
Never seen it before.
I've forgotten their names.
Brilliant. Really enjoyed it.
I've forgotten their names. Robert Redford, Paul Newman,
and Robert Shaw.
Robert Redford, yeah.
Quip from Jaws. Yeah, great film. I've never seen it before. And he's been badgering for years to watch it. But yeah, really enjoyed that.
It's a good film.
Yeah, step up from Warrington Weatherspoons. Then, yeah, absolutely, Steve. Much a bit of a step up from Warrington Weatherspoons. Yeah, here we go. One from Simon. Trafalgar in the Admiral's cabin on HMS Victory will be ace.
Yeah, good shout.
Cruel Seas on board HMS Belfast from John Sowerby. Here's one from Matt. A game of Blood Red Skies in the ops room at Bentley Priory.
That's a good choice. That's
a good choice.
All right, well, I've got one for you. Where the hell do you play Burrows and Badgers?
In the garden.
Just sat on a toadstool. Just in the garden, like some. I mean, what we haven't even addressed. I mean, obviously, Lord of the Rings. People say New Zealand and to the Hobbiton place. But look at James. You sure? Yes, we have. We have. We have, but you weren't here. You look at it now. Thank you so much.
I also gave him an extra shout out for delivering this in such a brilliant and
but thank you. Do you sit there with some kind of bingo card?
PCP bingo.
It's like news, bash, Ken's whatever.
Something Ken said insulting
someone. Maybe we should make a PCP bingo card.
That'd be quite interesting, actually. You could play it at Toad Hall. That worked quite well, actually. There you go. Here's one from Dave. You can play Burrows and Badgers on my site in Banffshire. Huge set just outside the site entrance.
There's a huge set right on our site, which has caused a few issues.
I'm waiting for Alex to come through with his Badgers comment now. Come on, Alex, don't let us down.
All right, actually, look, we'll do it because I've got the last stream of the year. All right, yes. James. There you go, James. I know you're a dab hand with graphics because we've been talking about things, and we need a PCP bingo card by the last stream. So the last stream is not next week; it's the of 2024. Is so it's on the 18th. That's the last stream. So we if you can, James, can you whip up a quick PCP bingo card and whack it up in the group? What is it? A drink every time that what happens? How do we do this? Because the last one's going to be for we'll talk about the streams later, but the last one's going to be jolly.
Yes. Very, very, very,
very jolly.
Okay, so do we want to continue, or have we got any news?
I have news. News. Not as much as we would normally have, but because Dom he didn't bother sending anything. So here we go. Let's see what we have got. I'm not going to play that horrible tune. We haven't played that for quite a while.
It's just it's bloody awful.
So I saw a few things, I saw 5 things actually. So the big news first of all, thank you to everybody who ordered the dice and the mugs. The orders have gone in with the manufacturers, and we're hopefully going to get those back and get those out to you in time for the last post for Christmas. So that should be in. So thank you very much to those of you who emailed asking about a merch. I think they're called merch drops. I think that's what they're referred to as. We might do one next year. Probably more than likely what will happen again is we'll do CrackCon, and then obviously there's the opportunity afterwards, because it's not something we want to do like that the whole time. It's just know an opportunity for people who couldn't get the dice at CrackCon to have a chance. So big thank you to everyone who did that. Now I know Dom talked about the Wargames Atlantic releases last week, the digital ones, but I guess I could have watched it. Now, I unless I sort of went into a coma for 30 seconds. He talked about a few, but I don't remember him mentioning the Zulus. So I'm sorry if he did.
Oh no, I don't think it was. I
think
it was the Spanish guerrillas he mentioned last week.
Yeah. So they've also on the same roof got the Zulus. Now I wasn't really interested in if he would put until now. And I was doing a bit of maths with Miller and Matt and Robin, and I reckon that out of a bottle of resin, the resin I get, you can probably get a good 300 of these. So I may have to go down this route for them, because there's, I've got 3 boxes of the Perry ones. I've got 4 Zulu regiments in the Perrys, but the ability to just keep on printing these off, thousands of them.
I thought
it was good. So anyway, yes, they've got these ones. So I know that there's a couple of people who are obviously on the Patreon. So if you're coming to CrackCon and we need Zulus for the Isanwana game at some point.
Just tell you what, Wargames Atlantic are cranking them out, aren't they? They really
are pumping them out. They are.
One thing I'm excited about is I was looking at my mate sent me their release schedule over the next sort of year or so.
Yeah.
They're releasing. I've been waiting for these to come out for ages. They're doing classic undead cavalry and chariots.
Oh. That's really cool.
No heavily armored ones, just skeletons on skeletal horses with chariots.
What if they have separate feet?
It's Wargames Atlantic. Come on,
they won't do that.
They better not do it. They got a lawsuit on their hands. I'm like, no, I can't imagine any company in this day and age would have separate feet on skeleton. Yes, they are as well. James is right. They're also doing plastic British Expeditionary Force as well.
That would be very cool. They are just pumping the stuff out at the moment, both digitally and in plastic. The next thing I just saw for you. Now, do you remember I previewed Warp miniatures before? They made the gnomes. They were very, very funny. Well, they've now released kind of like another set, and it kind of crossed with the Badger thing. And I just saw this and I just thought of Steve. And the battle for Shroom Pass was some kind of badger troll.
Look at that catapult!
I know. I think the idea is you use them as like goblins or something. But I mean, I was trying I said to the others for our Rangers of Shadow Deep stuff that we should replace the orcs with these gnomes and Charles said, I think we're up for it, but I don't know if we'd be able to get the stuff painted in time for the next adventure. So I think we might. Though I'm very, very, very tempted to jump on these. I just love the character to them. I mean, look at those badgers. Look at those.
I don't know what I read. Steph said the catapult for me is just absolutely brilliant.
You've seen what he's got for wings, right? He's got leaves. He's got little.
Yeah. There we go. Steve versus Ken in miniature.
Essentially, that's awesome. They are very cool.
They're brilliant. They are just so much fun.
Exactly.
That badger with the rock looks a bit rabid, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't it? And I look, they got mushrooms around their collars. I was trying to work out what that was that they have. I thought those were ace. Next up, again. I must have had a memory blank about last week, and I guess I could have just watched the stream back, but well. Skytrex or Warlords had their General Napoleon figure. I wasn't overly sort of taken with this miniature, to be honest. It's I thought it was a 15, but it's 20. Oh, not 15. Whatever.
Oh, okay, 13 and a half.
Yeah, 13. Yeah. To pi. But it's 28.
It doesn't scream Napoleon, does it? Apart from he's got one hand shoved in his jacket. I mean,
yeah. So, what's this? I'm currently building some ogres for a certain person who is showing the game, and they have separate feet. If for every foot you don't give on him, we'll lose one off of their movement characteristic. All right.
Steve, don't say that, mate. Don't say that.
It does look a little bit like Kieran Hines, actually, doesn't it? It does. Next up, which is the last thing I've got, because I know that there's a couple of people that have bought Shatterpoint.
Oh yeah.
And there's 2 new sets for that. So you have the Fearless and Inventive, which is Luke Skywalker, Leia when she's trying to rescue Han Solo, Lando. But my favorite in there is these R2D2 serving the drinks.
Oh, it's like a drinks table.
So there's that box, and then to go with it, it has the Fear and Dead Men, which is Vader. Now, right, so I like half the Vader sculpt. I just don't like his cloak because to me it looks like he's about to take off.
Has he been watching like Batman recently or something?
I am the night. But anyway, so this game does intrigue me. I don't want to buy it. I would quite like to play it. I watched a couple of games. The mechanics seem interesting to me. I've got a lot of Legion stuff, so I don't really want to buy into another game, and I quite like someone else to buy it, paint it, and let me play it. So, which I think is that's fair. We can do that, can't we? So, so that's all I really had for the news. Now I know there's a couple of other things floating around, but there are some bits that we wanted to talk about next week. So yeah, there we have the news. Oh, other than I spent a lot of the weekend listening to new heavy metal songs, which got released, which include the new Judas Priest song. The new Bruce Dickinson song that came out, which I now have listened to about 20 times. And I've only watched the video twice. I could only stomach it twice, and then I've listened to it about 18. That
is that Bruce Dickinson song's an absolute banger, though. I've listened to it a couple of times myself.
When I sent that to you, I couldn't be bothered to scroll down and find the private chat between me and you, so I just posted it up into the chat between the four of us. And Dom's silence was very telling because I could see that he read the post. There was just no response at all. So I'm just going to carry on sharing them in there now, just to see, just on the off chance that he watches one.
Well, suddenly, yes, do you know I get random band recommendations in my YouTube. I actually listened to a band I've never heard of yesterday. They're a Spanish metal band called Hemorrhage.
Right. Good name.
Very, very Cannibal Corpse influenced with their song titles. Some awesome song titles on there.
I can imagine. Is it like looking at the average Cannibal Corpse?
Yes.
You just go down the. Oh no, I was looking at some Cannibal Corpse artwork the other day. They seem to have mellowed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when you start off with like Eaten Back to Life to where they are now, the artwork has changed quite considerably over the years, but still an awesome band that they just don't change what they do. They just make cool metal, and that's all we want. But yeah, we need to post more to it just to see what Dom's reaction is.
I think we should. Yeah.
Did you listen to that one that I posted? Nuclear Power Trio.
Yes. I listened to it yesterday while I was down here finishing off the kill. So that's made the playlist. That has made the painting playlist.
It's just their entire thing, their entire back catalogue is just instrumental. There's no lyrics. It's just, and they are supremely talented at what they do.
Someone's just recommended listening to Alien Weaponry and Ginger. I've listened to Ginger.
Ginger, brilliant, absolutely fantastic.
Which are slightly scary. I've got to say, it does scare me. Have I listened to Alien Weaponry? I'll have to. I'll have to
check it out. Yes, Sean just brought something up. So in the I think it's I can't remember. It might be the ACW episode at Gettysburg. Edward Woodward actually bought the wargaming setup, the whole table.
Oh, did he?
Afterwards, he was so impressed with it, he bought it. Which that's always a good sign of quality. Right, speaking of Battleground, let's get on to the final few bits and pieces. This is where it goes a bit mad because we've done the sensible stuff. Now we're on to our own personal preferences. So, music. What would your music be?
Well, it had to be Hans Zimmer, wouldn't it? It had to be a Hans Zimmer soundtrack, surely. It'd have to be that, it would have to be. It'd have to be something sort of orchestral and uplifting. But I feel like sort of in the middle of it, you could break out into something a little bit more. Yeah, say 2 Steps from Hell. Someone said that's a good shout. I think I just have to say, it just has to be. Sorry, I just got distracted by Tim. I just bought a vinyl copy of Meat Is Murder. Brilliant stuff. I think that's aimed at you.
Won't be troubling my my playlist anytime soon. No, I just wrote down something classical, just something ambient and not too overbearing. I think the music on Battleground, I think it was quite classical. It was quite rousing and epic as well. But I think it certainly fit. I know loads of people have recommended Sabaton. I don't think that'd go down very well.
No, I don't think it is. Even though I don't mind a bit of Sabaton, I don't think that would that would go down too well.
No. Mind you saying that, it's our program. We can do with it what we will. But no, I think I'd have like a nice for the intro music. It'd be a nice rousing, but then there'd be like an ambient undertone for the rest of the program.
Would you have like a narrator, like a separate narrator or voiceover who isn't the presenter?
Good. That's a good point actually, because I've written down presenter, but voiceover.
So you have someone who introduces it, because I mean, can we bring back the dead?
Yes, I've got both the people. I've got down a dead. So.
All right. Okay. Well, Christopher Lee then doing some kind of opening narration. About the battle and being very, just introducing people, and then so then you've got your separate presenter. So yeah, absolutely, that's what I would do.
Do you know if he would make a cracking narrator, even though it would probably just spook people the hell out? Vincent Price.
Oh god.
I think that would be quite unique. I'm trying to think who would have a good narration voice to give updates on the dice throwing.
Judi Dench.
Judi Dench.
I don't know. I just imagine, because she just really wouldn't care. Just like, give me money.
I'm trying to think. Who's got a sort of a
what, other than Morgan Freeman? Who got like a really
yes, Morgan Freeman would work, wouldn't it? Yes. That'd be really good. That's actually a really good shout. Actually, Morgan Freeman. If you're not doing anything, you want to do a voiceover on a make believe. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Kevin wins. Brian Blessed.
Good shout.
Very good shout. Shout being the operative word.
Yep.
John Virgo.
Alan Carr.
What?
Is that this is the voiceover, not the presenter, and Al Murray presenting.
Yeah, Al Murray presenting. Yeah, James Earl Jones. Jesus.
I mean, that would be what is best. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, Tom Baker be a good one. Stephen Fry. I'd love to go for a pint with Stephen Fry. It'd be so interesting. That's a completely different episode.
Well, that's a good turn. That took a dark turn. Tim had to make the dark turn.
I'm not even going to mention that. YouTube will just delete my entire channel. Gary Oldman, Richard Burton. Then we'd have to explain to Ken who Richard Burton was, because he didn't know.
He didn't know who Clint Eastwood was. All right, so let's
or Alice Cooper.
Yes, I know.
Roger Moore, the best Bond. Controversial, I know, but he's my favorite Bond purely because he was posher than the Queen. James Earl Jones. Larry Grayson. What?
This is just a voiceover, right? Not the
this presenter. Is just a voice. This is just not the presenter. No, just a voiceover. Okay, let's get back to a bit of. I would say normality, but I think we left that behind a lot.
I think you left that when you selected this as the subject.
Exactly, a long time ago. I'd have paid to see Ken doing this. That would have been awesome. Okay,
yeah.
On to presenter then.
Okay, go on then. You go first.
I know we're talking about reanimating the dead or bringing people back who are dead. I think I'd go, especially for my one. I think I'd go for R. Lee Ermey. I think he'd work really quite well.
Okay, that's a good shout. Good shout.
Yeah.
See, I want someone who's going to be really rude to the people that play. So I went with David Mitchell. I want someone who's really sarcastic.
That would work really well.
And when someone thinks they've done something clever, and then it goes wrong, would really make them feel low about themselves. But I kind of want him like as Mark from Peep Show.
Oh, from Peep Show, yeah.
So yeah, I'd have David Mitchell. What we got down there? James May, Kenneth Williams, Terry Wogan.
Terry Wogan.
Terry Wogan's a good. He'd just be absolutely shitted.
Yes. Oh yeah, Michael Caine. That'd be a good one.
No. John, is no one showing? No. We don't show him films.
We don't. We tried to explain to him who these people were, and it was just pointless.
Look, we tried to do these things like with music. He doesn't like look, the guy doesn't like gravy. Okay, so he doesn't like roast dinners or gravy. He doesn't like music. He doesn't like films unless they're in the Lord of the Rings. I mean, I don't think he even really watches Star Wars. And we've tried so many times to send him things.
Terry Thomas. Here's one for you, Martin. Tony Robinson.
Oh God. Oh God. I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. You just every day. I had someone today going, "Oh, do you like Time Team?" No. No, I don't.
Just shut that conversation down really quite early on.
I mean, double dip might have won here. Jet from Gladiators.
There's several Alan Partridge references tonight, isn't there?
Yeah.
Really?
Greg Davies, that's a good shout. Yeah. General question: why do you guys even speak? Because he's our friend. Because he's our friend. I was his best man.
Yeah, we enjoy his company. Christopher Walken, that's a good shout. That's a really good shout. Sean Bean, yes.
Well, I think Sean Bean would probably, but I think Sean Bean would probably do. You can tell when he's interested in the project, and I think he would just sound really angry because he doesn't want to be doing it. It's yeah.
Al Pacino, I'd be terrified around Al Pacino.
Yeah,
I'd just be on edge all the time. Like I say, one of my favorite actors of all time, but I'd be like, I am not worthy type thing.
Yeah.
It would still be a good. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He'd get Lemmy from Motorhead to do it. It'd just be angry to present it. He was interested in certain aspects of
history. Yes.
Yeah. Moving on.
My God, we've had such a disparate amount of celebrities in this chat tonight. God alive. Yeah, Stephen Fry. Yeah, that'll be really interesting. Like I say, I'd love to go for a pint with him. Or Alan Partridge. I'm surprised no one's mentioned Alan Partridge because he did what was his cable TV channel?
Who's that?
Alan Partridge.
I
can't remember it. It was it Quest or something?
So I had to go and do an interview. We were doing a dig up in Norfolk, right? And I had to go and do an interview on BBC Norwich Radio, whatever it's called. And we were sitting in the waiting room, and they genuinely have a picture of Alan Partridge on. So Dan, my business, he was sitting there because he loves Partridge, and he was happy. I couldn't believe it. Like they embraced it. They fully embraced it. And there wasn't just one picture even. Like as you walk around, there are more.
I can imagine. Yeah, I've changed my mind. I've gone for Alan Partridge.
But I love it how like well, Robbie's just said it here. So it's got to be Alan Partridge, not Steve Coogan. Alan Partridge. Not you don't want Steve Coogan presenting. You want Alan Partridge.
No, actually, Alan Partridge, not Steve Coogan.
Yeah.
As much as I like Steve Coogan, I think Alan Partridge.
Oh, that's a good shout. Sean Bratt said Blackadder. Rowan Atkinson.
Yes.
We're not
Alan Partridge presented Conquest. I wish it was real. Oh my word, Henry Cavill. Yeah, this is just getting a bit out of hand now. Some of these suggestions.
David Cameron, man, who's commentary we can try.
Yeah, I think we've done that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's been so. Who are we? So I'm on David Mitchell to present mine. I want him to really ask some personal questions.
Yeah, I've gone with Ali. I'll stick with Ali Ermy. I think that's my my sensible option, not Alan Partridge, because you can't get two more opposite people than Ali Ermy and Alan Partridge. No, I think so. Let's have a recap then to see where we've got him. So yours was the Roses.
Yeah.
Did you choose a battle? Or was it just a generic?
No, I mean, if we were doing a series, then I'd want to do. If we're doing 6 episodes, I'd want to start with first Battle of St Albans, and then go and then do like I guess what people would say is the major ones. They do first Battle of St Albans, Wakefield, Towton, Barnet, Tewkesbury, Bosworth. Something like that, and just have the standout ones. What about you? What would you do? Would you have it over a series or just do one action?
Yeah, I think a series, but it would be the main battles, would it? So there'd be you could do a Dunkirk one. You could do D-Day. You could do El Alamein or Tobruk. You could do, again, going back to the Pacific, you could do Guadalcanal or Iwo Jima.
Yep.
You've got again Stalingrad. You could do Kursk.
But would you want different people each time?
Yes, I think. I don't know. You could have a league format, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Win, lose or draw.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought. Actually, would it be the same people on each week?
Yeah. So you could consistently watch someone be really unlucky until the last one. I think that would be good, especially if you can see people sort of like grow with their tactics. Not wanting to be too serious, but obviously if you got have people like grow with their tactics or learn from their past mistakes or whatever, I think it could be quite fun.
What? Unlike the people on Time Commander.
Oh God. Yeah, unlike that.
No, that's interesting. Actually, I think I've changed my mind. I would have to say the same people on through all 6 episodes, just so the percentage should be that guy presented Nightmare.
Don't know. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I love that show, and then I watched it fairly recently, and I didn't love it anymore. Some things are best left in the past. That's why, like the nostalgia thing and gaming and like the old world. Like I liked the old world. It was fun. I don't want to play it again because the idea of it to me seems better than I think the reality will be. I think. Yeah. I mean, I will play it. I will play it. In fact, I think I've got a couple of games actually lined up to play, but that's because I have an army lying around. But do you know what I mean? The nostalgia, TV shows is where those things are. Like, hey, what did Haley put on?
I know. For me, it was Thundercats.
Oh God, yeah.
Mumra is just not as terrifying as he used to be.
Oh God! What the hell was it? Well, I remember rewatching He-Man, and then I watched that thing that Kevin Smith made that was on Netflix that we all got really excited about. So yeah, I don't know.
2.5 episodes I lasted, and I never watched it ever again because it was diabolical.
I didn't even watch the second one. I didn't even get that far.
Yeah, no, it was just there was a complete lack of Skeletor, which is what you want. You want more Skeletor. It should be called Skeletor. Not He-Man, Skeletor. Okay, then. So we've got our period. We've got the battle. We've got all the 6 episodes of different battles. The format. So I think we both agreed on key moments.
Yeah.
From the game. So pivotal dice rolls for morale tests or shooting or orders, etc. I've got down here the in-game footage, so the banter. Do you think that would work?
Yes, I think it can. Yeah, absolutely. I think it can work if you're talking about the slating that goes on in between. So yeah, I think it could. Benjamin's just put a thing in about historians playing against actual officers. I'll go one further, and I would get people like the Richard III Society to play against Tudor historian, like David Starkey or someone, and have the Tudor historians versus that. Yeah, but I think that's part of the fun. That's why we enjoy wargaming. It's like what Dom says. It's the banter. Is that? I mean, I think that would be quite fun. And if you've got a very sarcastic host who can then manage that and take the mickey out of everyone, it would be perfect.
Like David Mitchell.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I think that would work really quite well. No, again, I just think with Battleground the way it was, I think the format was brilliant. So it was you get the historical overview, you get a nice map with Edward Woodward, you get his nice chair, and it is just the key moments of the game and the dice rolling. Thing is, the games they play, I never know. It's never explained. I don't think it's really explained what games they're playing, and they don't really go a lot into the mechanics. Really, they briefly touch on the mechanics, but they don't go too far into it. So I don't know whether we like you said though, if we are trying to sort of promote a certain game system, you would have to focus on certain mechanics of that game, just to make so people would know what was going on, basically.
I mean, if this was like a Twitch show or something, you'd have like Priestley versus like Paul Sawyer, or you'd have like the Perrys against I don't know, some of the Foundry guys. That would be quite fun. Like watch Paul Hicks play. Watch people try and play their own games and remember their own rules.
Yeah, I've always thought that must be really strange if you have designed I mean, Rick Priestley, when he's playing like Warlords of Erewhon or something, he wrote, or Black Powder, he wrote those rules.
Yeah.
So it must be quite, I don't know, just strange.
Well, that's where we were talking to Simon. He wrote To the Strongest, and he was saying, there are people who know the game far better than him. So when he's writing his updates and things, he'll often go to them and he'll get little corrections. They've mastered that system, and they win the tournaments. So maybe that would be the other way to go. You have creators versus like fans. So you play like Alessio, bolt action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be. I'd love to play. I'd love to play like something like that. That'd be or playing Strontium Dog against Andy Chambers. That'd be brilliant. I think I'd enjoy that. That'd be a good one.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really, really good. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got the that music. I think we agreed on some form of
yes, something suitably cinematically epic.
Yeah, not not some of the suggestions that we got. No, I just think I think that the Battleground one had it spot on with the their music, bit rousing, epic music, and the in program footage really worked as well. I thought that was really quite good. Yeah, the actual setting. So I've gone for like I said, the Tudor room.
Yeah, no, Tower London. At the bit actually on the I was about to say the bad bit, but the whole of it's not particularly great. But no, Terror London, that would be perfect. Yep, that's mine.
Interesting question from James. Who's the intended audience? Oh, we never thought of this.
Well, why has he had to ask something sensible?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Would it be for established war games? Would it be a program Remember in the 80s, Why Don't You? It was like a program made for kids by kids. You don't remember? Okay, so
I was 6 when the 80s ended.
Lovely stuff. No, Why Don't You is probably an odd analogy, but yeah, would it be a game for wargamers made by wargamers?
That'd be a very, very small audience, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't suppose you're going to put it on after like The Only Way is Essex or something like that. I don't think that's going to happen. Or like that. I guess it would be kind of Channel 4 early Sunday evening, sort of like half part, 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock kind of time, made for those people who've eaten a Sunday lunch and are sitting down and don't intend on moving for 6 hours. Which I think is a fantastic way to spend your Sunday evenings.
That's how I spend most Sundays. But that's a good question. That, I mean, would it get more people into the hobby? Would it appeal to non-war gamers?
No one is a war gamer who's going to watch this unless you include a bunch of horses fighting over shoes and Botox treatments. stunning stuff there from across the pond. Yes, but he's not wrong. No.
Yeah. See, Red Sven, why don't you turn off the telly? Cure that happening. No, that's an interesting question. Who would actually appeal to? I mean, with Time Commanders, who was that meant to appeal to?
I think that was an attempt trying to get, I guess, just armchair historians, like people who like, because it was kind of run like a game show. I know, like my dad quite did, and he was shouting at the TV as well. So that was just a bit of fun. So I think it's just kind of appealed to that kind of a casual. I don't want to be stereotype, which is what you have to do when you're looking at your audience.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know. Not kids. It wasn't aimed at kids.
It wasn't kids, no. And the fact that it was a video game essentially. So like it was a computer game. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know who that was aimed at.
Probably. How many seasons did it get? I'm gonna look this up. Is it 3?
I think it was, off the top of my head, I think it was 3, but I really don't know.
Yeah, 3.
3. When did it run from and to?
I think it says 2. It was September 2003 to March 2005. And then they did a 3-part special as well. So Eddie Mayer hosted the first series, Richard Hammond hosted the second. It was a 3-part special on BBC 4 with Greg Wallace. 2003 to 2005. Okay, I wasn't as young as I thought I was when I watched it. I was actually 19 when it came out. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion from Glendower. Yeah. It could be a good way of showing the hobby. Maybe have a website linked with a list of clubs on. That worked quite well.
You could get the clubs to host it. That would be cool.
Mr. Bean. Absolutely.
They did Waterloo. When did they do Waterloo on Time Commanders?
Did they?
Apparently. I'm just looking at the list. So the first one was Trabia. Then it was Watling Street. Foresters, Kenai, Telemon, Gaugamela, Teutoburg Forest. I wonder if they got them to be the Romans. Can you survive? Stamford Bridge, Troy, Hastings. Okay. Yeah, and Waterloo just chucked in there. That's like the only black powder one on there.
I was going to say that was a lot of them are more, ancient.
Well, clearly that was after Napoleon Total War came out.
Yeah, I wonder if they must have used it for that. But I didn't realize it was only on for like 3 series. I thought it was a lot longer than that. I don't know. I really can't remember. To be fair, I don't remember an awful lot about it. I remember watching it when it was on, but I don't know. I've been asleep since then, and I just forget things. So who else? Presenter. So I've gone. I went for R. Lee Ermey.
Yeah, I went with David Mitchell.
The early Time Commanders was great, where you could just play it yourself in Rome Total War.
Well, and then feel good about it. Yeah. So you watch them fail. the bot, the head of some team at a bank, and then you went and that made you better than them.
Made you better than guests. Did we still talk about guests?
What, like on the show? You
yes,
mean here?
Guests.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought you meant on there.
No, on our the PCP Battleground experiment.
It'd have to be PCP viewers, surely.
Oh yes.
It'd have to be the PCP viewers. Ken's pretty much a guest on here because of the amount of appearances he's not exactly he's essentially a guest.
Dan Snow will be a good presenter.
Yeah.
That's
a good shout.
Yeah, I remember watching that 20th Century Battlefield. He did a 20th Century Battlefield, another one with his dad. They were really interesting. I always used to enjoy watching those. They were great. But yeah, so guests would be our good selves. We would randomly rock up at a random episode. And show our unique blend of knowledge upon them.
Well, we'd let Ken do all the talking, obviously. That would be the plan.
Would that be a good plan?
No, it'd be a plan.
I wouldn't stick around long after that. That could go catastrophically wrong. Right. And then music. Oh, we've done music. So yeah, we're at the end.
I feel it's good. I think it did. I was actually quite far more. I was a bit worried. I was like, oh, God, but I think it is something. Look, I mean, various people have tried to do things, haven't they? But I don't think anyone's been successful. But that's because they didn't have the awesome power of the PCP audience to to quiz.
I think we'd a major pull. But I think it was Mark said, would it be mainstream TV? Would we do it on a streaming service or?
I get it. More people watch streaming services. So, and it's the kind of thing Netflix would do. They have that show where they make cakes and disguise them as things, don't they? Is it cake? So I'm sure that they do this.
That's a thing.
Yeah, have you not seen Is It Cake?
No,
I have to watch it because my daughter watches. Go! You've got Netflix, right?
No, I got rid of it years ago. I realised the only thing I ever watched on Netflix was Rick and Morty, and that was about it. I didn't actually watch anything else on there.
Yeah, it's a thing called Is It Cake, where people make very, very nice looking cakes, but they resemble other things, and the person has to guess whether it's cake or real, and they go to cut it in half. So someone will make like a burger. So is it a burger or is it a cake? That's the show.
Yeah, I'll have to. Here's one. Ken would host it on a telly shopping channel.
I could see him doing that. Yeah,
I could definitely see that happening. Oh my god, yeah, that would definitely happen. That'd be Ken all over, and it'd be utterly terrifying at the same time.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, thanks everyone for participating in that. I was really interested. I was it was really good to get other people's opinions on how they would do it. I think some people's suggestions would probably get you barred from TV for 10 years.
Or jail.
Or possibly arrested, or investigated to some degree.
Yep.
Starts at £99, ends at £5.99. Always a go from Leslie. Who's building your gaming table? Oh, Leslie in with a cracking question right at the end.
Oh,
I don't know. That's a difficult one.
That's a good question, and I'm stumped.
I don't know.
Ideas, people. Ideas.
Okay, in the chat, who would you get to build your Battleground gaming table?
Who would it be?
Because my brain's gone blank. Maybe because I'm drinking Grolsch. I don't know.
Oh no!
Well,
Grolsch.
I don't actually mind Gross. Gross is a nice lager. It really is.
I find it really sweet. Like, really sweet. I can't drink Grolsch. It makes me well, I think it actually makes me very drunk very quick, Grolsch. Yeah.
Oh, we got some suggestions. So Mel the Terrain Shooter, that'd be a good shout, wouldn't
Well,
it?
I suppose that's the best shout.
Luke from Geek Gaming.
Yeah.
Night Shift. That'd be a good one. I'd love to play that. If he ever did branch out into just making gaming tables, I would be all over that. Magrathea, absolutely. Absolutely fantastic builder of scenery. Got loads of suggestions here. Yeah.
Who we got on there? Luke APS. I love James here. Well, Luke APS has left. Melda Tranger is AWOL, so maybe Robin, because he would have done it in an evening at short notice. That's true.
Oh, yes. Oh, I can't remember the chap's name. I got to see it at the Warlord Open Day. It was I can't remember his name.
Blue Peter. I second that. Blue Peter.
Blue Peter. God, we end up with fighting D-Day on Tracy Island or something. That would be that'd be a nice crossover, wouldn't it? Yeah, Blackcraft Magic. Zorp. Yeah, some really good suggestions here. As long as it wasn't me, I don't like Bill. It was a good question. Thanks for that, Leslie. That would be. Oh yeah, I said another one from Matt. I wonder a railway modeler would do building a table, maybe Everard Junction. Yeah, I do watch quite a few model railway channels purely for the sort of the scenery and the creative aspect of it. I think it's quite inspirational at times. Some really good stuff. Neil Buchanan from Art Attack, right? That'd be actually really good.
Yeah.
The Perrys built a table for a history show with Ian Hislop. Didn't know that.
Oh,
yeah. No, they are some absolutely fantastic suggestions there, people. I'm gonna definitely make use of some of those. Some of those I didn't even know existed. Right, let's have a look at what people have been posting in the Facebook group.
It's been quite prolific this week. Well, prolific every week, but yes.
As always, we mention it every week. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, womble across to the Plastic Crack Podcast on Facebook. Answer Dom's questions 3, and ye shall be admitted to the greatest place that exists on Facebook. Let's be honest. Without hyperbole, the best group on Facebook, bar none. Just keep it posting out. I say this every week, but it's just inspirational seeing what people are working on, the different projects, different just scales, everything. I always enjoy looking through it. And we would like to have an entire episode dedicated.
Maybe we can we could do that one.
We'll do that. We'll do that one day. That would actually be a brilliant. I think that would be a great episode. Actually, I'm not quite sure StreamYard would agree with the amount of pictures we'd be uploading. They wouldn't like that.
Oh yeah, that would hurt. Yes,
it'd have to be a recycling type thing.
It'd have to be like a rolling system of uploading, and yeah, we could do it.
We could do it. Yeah. In fact, let's pencil it in for some time in the new year. We'll do an episode purely dedicated to your guys' works. Yes, right. We are. It's been decreed. It shall happen. Mm-hmm. Right. So first up is Christopher with. This is just phenomenal. just look at that.
That is awesome. Lovely.
The detail on the cape is just.
There's a few of these out and floating around at the moment.
Yeah. And they're just. I must have taken absolute hours to paint. But you can even just like you can see the texture on it. It just looks like phenomenal work, Christopher. Phenomenal. Really, thanks for posting that. I mentioned earlier, Dan has been painting more of his 10mm fantasy with this. Hey!
Yay!
It's a Lizardman Stegodon. Dom is currently painting 10 of these.
That is very cool.
That may or may not be true, but yeah, just as I mentioned earlier, until you actually see these things up close and personal, you just don't appreciate how good they are. Oh, just absolutely brilliant. They are
lovely,
really nice stuff. Up next is Gaza. Look at those.
Oh, they are nice. Is that
Morgan
Ra?
Yeah, it's Morgan Ra at the back. Yeah. Is it pronounced Samhain or Samhain? Or I can't.
I thought it was Samhain.
Samhain.
They are really, really cool.
That red is fantastic. And the red and the white, they just pop so much.
It's just really, really nice and clean. I really like it. And the white with the blue, really, really nice. Really, really cool work. See, this does make me interested in Elder. Sorry, Eldari. Don't
say it. Don't say it. It's their Eldar.
Is the on the banner? Is that hand painted or is that a
I don't
transfer?
know. I know when I got the Dire Avenger. Yeah. It wasn't. I think you get some decals with it. Gaza, if you're watching, mate, did you hand paint that? Yeah. Because if you did, it's phenomenal.
I know it's the Samhain symbol. I was just wondering, but yeah, very, very cool. Very
cool. Very nice. Up next is friend of the channel Miller, who's preparing for the old world with this orc.
Yes, yeah. So he posted this up, right? And then he said he did a little search on the internet and someone was selling it for like 60 like that because it's out of production that sculpt, and someone's flogging it for like 60 quid on eBay.
Is he doing a Ken or is he going to keep it?
No, I think he's going to keep it. It's quite. It's just a classic pose, isn't it? It's a lovely little model. Awesome stuff.
If that was Ken, there'd have been flame marks on his keyboard for getting it on eBay so fast.
Oh, I know. He'd be hurting. Although, yeah, you might want to lock your windows. Ken will watch this and then be around then. They'll actually be there know when he's scary. No, it's really cool. Really nice. I mean, I do want to know why you're painting this and you aren't painting the finishing the tribal war thing that we bought, because you painted that 2 weeks ago. You did the base coats last week. You pretty much got them all done, and you said one more stream and I'll have them finished. So why aren't you painting those? Or are you doing those tonight?
We need answers, Miller. Is it a palette cleanser or? But no, it does look really good. I love the tones on the skin. Really good stuff. Bit of World War II now from Jeffrey with a lovely.
Oh wow!
Yes, that is fantastic. Very, very nice.
Very cool. Very nice stuff. That is awesome.
Is that airbrushed or is that stippled on? Either way, it's really, really effective.
It's very nice.
Very nice. Uncannily, James has been reading your brain, Martin.
Yes. I know. Well, he's been reading the brain, and then also the message. Yes, I know. There's a few of these floating around. So yeah, I mean they're cool.
They're lovely.
I just thought. I mean, you know, they do what they say on it. They look cool. You know, I do like them. You know, and forgetting. You know, to quote your boots on the table, they are really straightforward miniatures, and it's the effect of them more than the individuals. Although I did have a comment left on my video about the Gallic War that said, what did it say? This made me laugh. And I was like, I'm not taking it personally. Where is it? It said, I thought about great review. I thought about buying this, but now having seen the figures, I'll not bother. Thank you. I thought that was gross. I love that he was still polite. That they were still polite about it. Thank you. I'm not going to bother. But I think that they are good. They do want to see this. So yeah, great work, and just the more Romans that we get, by October the better, because something might happen.
Something might happen. Do you know what? I was thinking about this. The only Romans I've painted are those Romano-British ones from Wargames Atlantic. I've never actually painted what Ken would call a cool or proper Roman.
I painted some of those when I was 14. They were those little metal Wargames Foundry ones. I've never done early Imperial in the last 20 years.
Ah. Well, next one, you couldn't get far removed from Romans. John's been painting stuff up for Space Weirdos. Look at these Desert Fanatics. They are brilliant. Absolutely,
they are really cool.
Lovely.
I like the muted tones. That's really nice.
I can't remember he said the name of the manufacturer was. Were they Reaper? No, I don't think they.
No, it's
John. If you're in the chat, can you let us know who the manufacturer of these chaps was? Because I've plumb forgot. I've just completely forgot. But they're brilliant. They look so old school as well. It's just something evil. Yeah, like I said, absolutely fantastic for Space Weirdos because anything goes. You can use whatever you want, whatever you find. Space Weirdos will sort you out.
Rackham. It's Rackham.
That was it. Yeah, Rackham. Up next is Neil with some I love these. These are brilliant. These are some 28mm ACW.
Oh,
they are
really cool. Very, very nice.
Very, very nice.
Cracking stuff.
I really, really like them. Again, I need to stay away from new projects, but 28mm ACW is something that I've always wanted to do, but just never got around to doing it.
Yeah, I'm there with you on that one.
I just think they look really, really good, all ranked up like that. Great stuff. Up next is Paul with some French Imperial Guard.
Okay.
I believe this was a Christmas present for a friend. That blue's brilliant.
Really nice.
Really nice. Check out the drum. He's painted a drummer, and it looks fantastic. That's really nice.
Very cool. Really nice. I mean, the things with the old guard, I know they're very similar poses, but they just look cracking as a unit. It's that massed up look. Really like it.
Great facial hair into the bargain. They're brilliant, Paul. Thanks for posting those. I think Paul said he painted these out on the stream last week. He's been painting some Scottish Knights.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
Are they Perry?
Yes, they look like Perry.
Yeah, I thought they were. They're nice. Really, really nice.
Oh, no, they might not. Are they Perry? Are they metal? Yeah, I think they're metals. Yeah, I think they are, yeah.
Oh. Either way.
Very cool.
Very nice work, Paul. Back to ACW with some Zouaves.
Well, hey, they're cool.
Now, I think these are, so these are by Sean. I think these are 3D printed, but the same size as the Epic range by Warlord.
Right.
So he rather than having a strip of 10 on each strip, I think he's broken them down to 5 on each one.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. I need to start painting my Zouaves again. I really enjoyed working on mine. Up next, this just blew everyone. It certainly blew me away anyway. VK.
Yeah.
VK's Landsknechts. Just look at those.
Very nice, very cool. I mean, there is a couple of gaps there. You could have put another pikeman. No, they are lovely.
Just phenomenal work, Fraser. Absolutely brilliant. And the fact that he got these done so quickly and just maintained that quality through all of them. It takes me weeks to paint 4 Landsknechts. Never mind an entire pike block. Do you reckon does Ken approve of the pike block numbers, or is it still lacking for him?
I don't know. What's he got there? About 40 to a pike block?
Yeah.
So if you put both those bases together, he might be more acceptable.
Oh yes, I think he'd be more
they are
acceptable.
Amazing.
They are lovely. Just brilliant. Absolutely fantastic work. Some more naps from Stuart with some French infantry.
Oh, nice.
Now they're Perry because I know because I painted them myself.
Very nice.
Only took me 4 years. But yeah, brilliant work on those, Stuart. He's got a wide array of projects on that shelf.
That's what I was just thinking. I was looking at the guy on the far right, going, he's not Napoleonic.
No, well, he might be.
You'd be more up for it if he was.
I don't know. It could be in the director's cut. That guy.
What's that below it? The shelf below with the green base.
Looks like something from Burrows and Badges, isn't it? I don't know.
What is that?
Well, I can see a termagant or a termagaunt, whatever they're called.
I love it when we actually get pictures of shells. I like the tanks that are piled up at the back. They're going to come out. They're not on basic.
Everyone should have a shelf like that.
I do. Mine's just over there, down there. That one there.
Mine's over there, and they're hideous looking. And last of all, from Warren, some 15mm Spanish gendarmes. 15mm. Look at that.
Wow, that is awesome. Really nice stuff.
Really nice, bright
really,
colours
really
as well.
Nice.
We're definitely seeing people painting a lot more different scales, aren't we?
Oh yeah,
with 15 and yeah.
Well, I think right. You know, when people start that new project now, and obviously we've talked about it a lot, and I'm not saying they're doing it because we've talked about it, but I think there is that consideration of scales, and there's a lot of different stuff in the Facebook group now, and people can see what 20mm or 15 or whatever it's going to look like, so people are more tempted to do it rather than just having to go and search for them. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, once again, thanks to everyone that posts and keeps posting, and we see new people posting up every week. And the group is growing, and so are the projects, and it's done some stunning work. And like I always say, always enjoy seeing what people have been working on. Just the diversity, the range, the periods, the conflicts, and the different styles people use as well. Just keep. Excuse me. Just keep it going. It's a highlight of Facebook for me. I really enjoy it. Right, Absolutely. We're officially into overtime now.
We are.
So thanks to everyone who joined us tonight and offered their sage advice on making our own versions of Battleground. Like I said, if you're unfamiliar, check it out on Facebook. They're broken down into small. It's like 10 minutes per video, but there are 3 or 4 full episodes on YouTube, and I would highly recommend checking it out. It's just good old fashioned entertainment of a wargaming type. So next week, where are we next week?
We are with Dom next week, and Dom is doing the game. His topic is 2023, the gaming good, bad, and ugly. So that should be an interesting one. And then my one will be the last stream of the year on the 18th, and that will be, I'm just going to call it it's just called the jolly one.
The jolly one.
This is called the jolly one after what happened last time and the last one. Is that the one with the where I called him a penis in the closing?
Yes, seconds? the last word on the podcast of 2022 was penis. It was directed at Ward 10. So no surprise.
You'd be surprised to hear that. So we're hopefully all going to be on for that one. For that one, have a website. If James is going to do the PCP bingo card, I feel like we should have no say in what's on the bingo card.
No.
We'll leave that down to you guys. So yeah, we'll leave it to you. But yep, next week over on Dom's channel. We couldn't show the OPC tonight, which is my fault, just due to various things that kind of went wrong with the house. I didn't have time to sort that out, so we will show that off next week.
Yes. So enjoy your gaming, everybody. Big thanks to everyone that showed up. Big thanks to everyone who's watching the catch up, and massive thank you to Boards and Swords for continuing to sponsor the podcast on a Monday night. Again, use the code PCP5 when you're checking out at the Boards and Swords web store for that extra 5% discount. Right, we are off. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we shall see you all next Monday on Dom's channel. Take care, everyone.
Use our one. Use the new one.
Okay. See you, everybody.
Bye.